Hey everybody, this goes out to all 6 of my subscribers. Thank you, and maybe this video will help somebody else along the line. I've just got a new bike and a new camera, so the video is about mounting, another way to mount a GoPro to your dirt bike helmet, specifically not a street bike helmet, but dirt bike helmet. I may do some more videos about my new bike because it's got a bunch of bells and whistles, and actually one thing that needs to be fixed. It's a 2017 Husqvarna TX 300. It came with this Husqvarna steering stabilizer or steering damper, whichever you want to call it. But I noticed it's leaking, and so I'm thinking the O-rings and seals and whatnot may be shot. There's not a lot of information about that on the internet or YouTube, so I figured I'll just give it a shot and try to rebuild it myself and maybe make a video about it, maybe help somebody else along the line. But yeah, I'll do a video about the new bike sooner or later. But here's my old bike, by the way. It's a 2005 Honda CRF 450R. I'm fixing to put it up for sale. If you're interested or know anybody who might be interested, have them give me a shout. But anyway, so here's my previous setup. This is a Thor, I think, quadrant helmet. It's a little dated, a little dirty. It's probably time for me to get a new one, but because I just bought a new bike, I can't afford to buy a new helmet. And before, I was using this Contour Roam 2 camera. I'll get some decent shots of it. How it's mounted, basically, I have a hole here in the top of the visor with a bolt running through, and it has like a standard tripod type screw-in mount at the bottom, or actually it's oriented right now towards the top, but and it holds it very tight and it makes good video. Problem is it's pretty shaky. This helmet's slightly loose on me, so the video was always kind of real shaky, and I just wanted it to be smoother, so I got me a GoPro Hero 7 Black, and I'm going to mount it. I'm going to be turning the camera off and on, just cutting in and out, show y'all some what I plan on doing. But here's a look at the underside of the visor and the old camera and the dirt that's on top of the visor. But anyway, so you see this angle here, that's the angle I'm going to be shooting for whenever I put the GoPro on. But let me turn the camera off and I'll show you kind of mock up what I'm planning on doing here. Hang on. Alright, so I took the old Contour Roam 2 off. Here's a look at it. One reason I had it is it's super simple to use. You just slide this switch forward and it comes on, slide it back and it's off. Super simple to use, foolproof. But here's another look. There's the hole that I had with a bolt going through with matching threads for the mount on the bottom of that camera. So I've taken it off, and what I'm going to be putting on for the GoPro is I decided to take the little mount that comes in the packaging that's on the top of the packaging. I just pried it off the top of that cardboard box, and there was a slight void in here. I filled it in with epoxy. It's not pretty, but that's going to be totally hidden once I mount it, so I'm not worried about it. What I'm planning on doing is mounting it up under here. This flex is good enough that I think when I press it up in here, it'll conform to the contour of that visor. Also, I have some extreme double-sided sticky tape and 4 screws, washers, and nuts to maybe drill holes in 4 corners of this mount here. And once I get it situated up here underneath the visor, I'm going to take some measurements and whatnot, and I'll show you what I've done. I may even have to trim some of this one of these corners back just a little bit. But anyway, I'll get back to you here in just a second once I figure it out. Alright, so what I've done so far is I trimmed this base plate, kind of put some angles there so that it would fit up. Let me flip my helmet over so you can see. It'll actually fit up in between these grooves that are in this visor, and I made some markings on my visor. Yeah, no, I'm not worried about how it looks. Like I said, it's an old helmet and I'm not too worried about it. But so it'll fit up in there just like that. I think I've got it all centered up. Next I'll put on the double-sided sticky tape, put it in place, then drill my holes from the top for the screws, washers, and nuts, and see how it looks. Being careful also in the meantime not to go through my transponder sticker. I guess whenever I get a new one of those, I have to figure out a different place to put it. But anyway, back in a minute. Alright, so off camera, what I did was I took an alcohol swab, just like this, or you can just use a cotton ball or something. Cleaned up the surface underneath the visor where I'm going to stick the GoPro mount to, using this extreme double-sided sticky tape. I cut some pieces to kind of fit. Looks ugly, but again, it's going to be underneath. Nobody's ever going to see it. Next I'll peel the backing off, put it in place, stick it down, and then I'll drill the holes for the screws and come back here in just a sec. Alright, so off camera, what I did was I pressed the this base plate on with the double-sided sticky tape, and I drilled the 4 holes for the screws, put them in, put the washer on and the nut on. It appears that everything is going to line up and allow this, whatever they call this part, the case. I'm still learning the GoPro terminology, but yeah. So that's in. Little rubber flap thing's in. Gotta tighten up this thumb screw. I think that'll do it. Once I put the GoPro in there, it'll be, I think, up and out of the way good enough. It's not going to bother me. Hopefully it doesn't shake much. I think this camera is actually lighter than my old one, so plus with the image stabilization, that should be good to go. But anyway, I'll give it a shot. Hopefully this will help somebody out if they're thinking about mounting one on their visor. I know chin mount is the most desired, but like I said, I can't afford a new helmet and don't want to spend the money on the chin mount just yet. If this looks good enough, then that's just what I'll use. I've had it up there since the beginning, so there it is. Maybe it'll help somebody who's trying to come up with an idea how to mount their GoPro. If you don't mind the screws showing on top, I don't. Doesn't really bother me at all. Like I said, this is an old helmet, and whenever I get something new, I probably will get a or if I get a new helmet, I'll get a chin mount or whatnot. But anyway, see y'all later.